Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate everybody jumping on this afternoon. So today, our webinar series, we are going to talk about how we can optimize call center tasks by automating scheduling. So with that being said, call centers are a vital part of many businesses. They serve as a primary point of contact between the company and its customers, handling a variety of inquiries and concerns and complaints. However, despite their importance, call centers on Salesforce often face several challenges that we'll talk about today. So with that being said, I am Carrie Brooks. I am the account director here at SUMO. I've been here for 6 years and very excited to talk to you about this today. And with me, I have Chantell Armstrong, and I will let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hey team, good to be here. So I'm Chantell Armstrong. I'm the senior solution engineer here at SUMO. I've been with SUMO for about 4 years, and I come with a background of over 15 years Salesforce experience. But additionally, important to this call today is I have a background in the call center industry. I spent about 16 years in that environment in a previous life.
Thanks, Chantell. Appreciate the intros and very excited to talk to you today. We'll go into the agenda. We're going to talk about kind of how call centers and Salesforce work together, how we can automate online scheduling to help customers, and the benefits that has for call centers. We're going to talk about some use cases and how SUMO can help with those, as well as how to implement online scheduling on Salesforce. We're going to save the Q&A till the end, so we can get through the webinar quickly, but we will have chat open as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to add those there. So with that, some of the challenges we find in call centers are really, managing the high volume of incoming calls. So I know everybody's kind of been there, waiting on hold, trying to get in touch with somebody, and that can get frustrating. So we definitely want to help with that. And the way that we can do that is helping agents schedule efficiently. So with that, they can make the traffic that's coming in, they can divert that to actually scheduling appointments so that a person is talking to the right person at the right time about the appropriate question or comments that they have. With that being said, SUMO is equipping the agents with the right tools and resources to do things even like schedule calls with different departments, schedule calls for escalated with supervisors, things of that nature that we're going to talk through today. Perfect. So with that, we will talk about how we can automate online scheduling for the call centers. So I know that, like I said, everybody's kind of been there before where they, are listening to hold music. And who likes hold music? What if instead you could pick a time that somebody could call you when it's convenient for you as the customer? SUMO's online scheduler can give customers this option, and the meeting can be a callback, a video conference, or even a phone call back. SUMO can even get you scheduled with the department you need to meet with, so you're not transferred multiple times and hear even more hold music. Let Chantell show you how we can do this.
So here we have a web page that we created, and think about when you call into a customer service line where you're trying to get help for a product or something you have in your home. Oftentimes, when you get to the IVR, if there's a high call volume, it'll tell you, it'll ask if you want to call back. And you press whatever buttons on the IVR to make the decision to get a call back. Now, what if instead of only doing that via the IVR, because now they've pressed all these buttons and they've come through and they're already a little frustrated because they had to press all these different options in the IVR, if you could offer them on the website that they went to where they got your support number from, the option to schedule a callback. So you can do that with SUMO. You could have a website where you're able to put wherever your website is and you have your phone number there, you can have a button to book a callback, and you can have that on days when you have high call volume. You don't have to have it all the time. But in the event of that, like, you could have a button, it could say whatever, it doesn't have to say product demo. But upon clicking on the link, you're offering there to be, this is the online scheduler, and they can put in their information, and then they just go next. They pick the service of what they're trying to do, and these are predefined. You can have these be the different departments maybe that they need to reach if they're calling about billing or some tech support or whatever is your business needs. So today we're going to pick the customer support consultation. After doing so, it's going to ask them for a date and time that they want to pick. Now you can make this specific to just today. If it's only for today, like you can do lots of things with the online scheduler to limit the options they have here. We're going to go ahead and schedule one for 4 p.m. because that's when I'm available. They can even offer the customer to put in some comments about what their issue is. And they can fill that in or not. We're going to schedule this appointment. This customer is going to get a confirmation page that lets them know it's been booked, and they're going to get a confirmation email to go along with it. But now they haven't wasted their time listening on the IVR, waiting for that message. They just went ahead and scheduled that callback because you guys are busy today. So then you can have somebody from your outbound team call this customer back. Back to you, Carrie.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chantell. I appreciate it. So the next use case that we're going to talk about is a scenario that SUMO can help with to have outbound scheduling. So what if you needed a replacement part or needed assistance, or you have to wait for something to arrive to continue a conversation? SUMO can get an appointment scheduled ahead of time so it's convenient for everyone and you have the right person to help without playing the phone transfer game. Chantell's going to show you how to do this off of a case.
Thanks, Carrie. So within Salesforce, we have our case record. This is all the customer information on here. We're going to use email and invite today. Now, this is going to go ahead, and after we populate the appropriate details for the type of appointment we want them to schedule for this callback or for this outbound call, we're going to pick our service type. We're putting in phone. We're going to put in whatever phone number it is. Maybe they're going to call us. Maybe we're going to call them. We're going to choose a host. Today I'm choosing Tommy Representative. Now, we also have features where you can hide their names when they get this information so that the participant doesn't see who it is, just in case in the event, because we all know in the call center world, like there's high absenteeism for the most part. But now we've picked all our options. We're scheduling. We're going to send this email. This email is going to get sent off to the customer. Now that customer is getting an email where they can go ahead and click on a option to schedule with our with Tommy. And I'm going to pull that up and show you what that looks like. So say they got that email. Once they get the email, they're going to click on a link. That link is going to pull up the information. You notice how it has a background image, got a logo on it. Looks pretty fancy. So it tells them what they're being scheduled for, the phone number they're going to call for this conversation, who they're meeting with. It gives their information and then it offers them up the times, the dates and times in which they can schedule. So we're going to go ahead and pick some dates and times. They can put in invite others. These options are able to be turned off if you don't need them. They can put in a note to let you know what they need to talk about or what their questions might be. And then they're going to go ahead and schedule that appointment. Once that appointment has been booked, we are then going to be able to find that appointment on the record that we scheduled from. So from the case record, we now have a list of that appointment is there, who it's with, so that that callback can be completed. And we can see them. Right here. These are all the sessions that we've created on this record, but here's the one we just created. And now we know that that appointment needs to have a callback. Back to you, Carrie.
Awesome. Thanks, Chantell. So the third use case that we're going to talk about is how to schedule on the multi-calendar for escalations. So have you ever needed an additional person to talk to about a problem? As a call center representative, this can happen for various reasons, but that expert or supervisor may not be available at that very moment. SUMO can help find that person's availability, schedule a callback or a video conference at a time that's also convenient for you. Scheduling from the SUMO multi-calendar makes it easy to see the info to ensure you have the right person scheduled. Now, Chantell will show you what that looks like in SUMO.
Thanks, Carrie. So this is our multi-calendar. Currently, we can see that Kayla supervisor's on here. Now, when I was a team leader and when I worked in a call center environment, it wasn't ideal, but sometimes I just wasn't able to take a soup call for one reason or another. I was already taking one, or maybe I was in the middle of coaching, various reasons. Maybe I was the only supervisor on the floor. Things happen. This can be frustrating for both the customer and the customer support rep. So oftentimes that means the rep either has to just wait or tell the customer they have to wait for somebody to be available. And then they're sitting on hold, they're getting more flustered and frustrated as a customer. And that also means the rep is still tied up and just waiting for this call to be resolved, and they can't move on to the next one. And that's not efficient in any way or ideal for the business. So to eliminate that frustration, SUMO can help you with that. Each manager, which is what they oftentimes did anyway, would have a set time where they would be responsible to handle the soup calls that were coming in. Or maybe they also had a soup callback process where they had a set time on their calendar where they were responsible for making the callbacks that were needed when people weren't available. So with SUMO, a supervisor can define different times in their day. Like you can see, like today, like Kayla has from 2 to 4 is where she's taking soup calls. Now, an agent, if nobody's available, could easily come here and say, okay, I need to schedule a callback. Right now, Kayla's available, or today's Kayla is available during this time. Having that conversation with the customer, they can easily click on the multi-calendar and schedule an appointment with Kayla. They would then pick like supervisor callback. You know where it is. You can populate the required information that you need to populate, and then they're going to pick their participant. Pick the date and time. We're going to say 3:30. And then you would go ahead and schedule that appointment. Now that's booked with Kayla, so she has that call back at 3:30. And the cool thing is say like something came up with there was some emergency meeting that happened that got booked on Kayla's like calendar, Outlook, or Google or whatever. And it happened to be at some time when she was originally plotted to do these callbacks, it would block that time so that nobody could schedule with her because it's on her calendar. So even though normally she'd be doing 2 to 4 because something urgent came up, it was already blocking that time so she couldn't schedule it with a customer. All right, back to you, Carrie.
Awesome, thank you. So to summarize what we've talked about today, SUMO can help in many ways to automate online scheduling for several benefits for the call center. With that, some of the key benefits are listed here. So we can improve efficiency. So scheduling and allocating the right resource with reducing waiting times makes customer satisfaction and enhance customer experience. So it really, those two kind of go together in overall satisfaction. Also increasing the agent satisfaction. That's really key there as well, because the agents, could be overloaded. It ensures that resources are allocated more efficiently. Scalability is another big one because we can actually, help with call volume. Also, with that being said, we can scale within businesses. So from small businesses to large enterprise businesses, our tool is already ready for that. So another thing is reducing errors. So we're putting all of the data in one place. So with that being said, everything's located so you can report on it. Everything's directly in your Salesforce CRM. Everything's connected automatically. And also the privacy and security that you're used to with Salesforce is also with SUMO. So you'd have all of your client data is secure, and you wouldn't have you'd have all of the privacy rules intact too. Perfect. So just some of the things that we've seen, some of the feedback that we've gotten from customers is obviously, as you can see here, we've got increased employee and customer satisfaction, increased productivity, which is always, those are, main KPIs there in call centers typically. Increased appointment bookings, which means that their time is allocated correctly. And then one thing that we can also help with is that when these appointments are booked, a client also gets reminders. So we have email as well as text reminders that can be sent out. So it eliminates those appointment cancellations, really does a big reduction in those. So that is another benefit, as well as any kind of changes that are made to any of the appointments. All of that is communicated with the customer so that everything's crystal clear. So I appreciate your time today. And if you'd like to learn more about SUMO, feel free to check us out on our website. We're also on the Salesforce App Exchange. We have chat on our website and chat on the App Exchange. And you can also email us at experts@sumoscheduler.com. Thank you, Chantell, for all your hard work and showing us how call centers can benefit from SUMO. And I hope that everybody has a great day.
Thanks, Carrie. It was a pleasure to be here.